DG Vanzara, who is in jail in the Sohrabuddin encounter case, has resigned from the IPS. He has written a letter to the police chief, which has been also sent to the CBI director, hating out at the Narendra Modi government, saying the government is reaping political benefits out of keeping officers like him in jail but not protecting them. Some of the points in the letter include, in fact, the state government has failed to protect its officers. DG Vanzara saying the government is not only not interested in protecting us, but is also has clandestinely been making efforts to keep me and my officers in jail so as to save its own skin from the CBI on one hand and gain political benefits on the other. The letter goes on to say it's everybody's knowledge that this government has been reaping very rich political dividends for the last 12 years by keeping the glow of encounter cases alive in the sky of Gujarat while remaining in a low profile and indifferent to the fate of jailed police officers. So DG Vanzara, the policeman who is in jail in the Sohrabuddin fake encounter case, writing a letter to the police chief, which has also been sent to the CBI director and the DGP of police in Gujarat, slamming the Narendra Modi government and his ex-Home Minister Amit Shah. Srinivasan Jain joins us for more on that. Vasu, here really seeming like taking on who were his political masters at one point in time.
Absolutely, Amitabh. This is a hugely significant letter because it comes from someone who's seen as extremely close to both Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, which is, of course, DG Vanzara, the man who virtually led all these controversial encounter killings and who's been in jail now for both the Sohrabuddin case that you mentioned, but also, of course, the Ishrat Jahan case, where he's one of the main accused. Now, this letter, which he's written, and if I can get the camera to zoom in on it, of which NDTV has a copy, was written 2 days ago on the 1st of September 2013. It's been sent by him from Sabarmati Central Prison, where he's lodged. As he puts it, he's DIG of police under suspension, addressed to the Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Gujarat and the Home Department, as well as to the CBI Director and other top officials, in which he takes on Amit Shah, the state's Home Minister at that time, in the most direct possible way, using the strongest language against Amit Shah. He says that since 2002, and I'm quoting here directly from the letter, Amit Shah has been completely mismanaging a sensitive department like the police. He's been following a policy of divide and rule like the British. He says that but for the legal and political intrigues, machinations and maneuverings of Amit Shah, the Sohrabuddin case would not have gone out of the state of Gujarat. He says that Amit Shah managed to do this basically to allow him to fight the recent assembly elections. That's why he got the case, the Sohrabuddin case, transferred out of Gujarat, and he managed to get a reprieve from the Supreme Court. DG Vanzara doesn't just stop there. He also goes on to make a direct reference to Narendra Modi. He says it's not out of context to remind the Gujarat Chief Minister that in his hurry towards marching towards Delhi, he may kindly not forget to repay the debt which he owes to jailed police officers who've endowed him with the halo of the brave Chief Minister amongst the galaxies of other Chief Ministers. He also goes on to say that he adores Narendra Modi like a god, but he's sorry to state that his god could not rise to the occasion under the evil influence of Amit Shah, who's usurped his eyes and ears and has been misguiding him. So very strong words coming there from DG Vanzara. Now remember that Vanzara is a main accused in all these encounter cases, and this letter does not exonerate him of any of that. In fact, his tone of his letter suggests that they were carrying out instructions by the state government to crack down on terrorism. He outlines in detail the menace of jihadi militant groups active in Gujarat, but it seems that he has turned against his political masters because he believes they have let him down. They are now forging a higher political trajectory, while those like him and a number of the other officers he names of the crime branch are in jail, serving very, very serious sentences and charges which are going to lead to very serious sentences. And coming from somebody like him, who, as I said, is an insider, is going to be now a hugely embarrassing for the Gujarat government, for Amit Shah, and even for Narendra Modi.
Taking up from your last point, Vasu, another point he mentions there about the Gujarat government, saying it's spineless, it's valiant only in words and otherwise coward in deeds, important in actions.
That's right. He does say that because he believes that the Gujarat government did not come and back all these officers while they face these charges for encounters, which he says was carried out by the policy of the state government. And I think this is the significant point that he makes in his letter, that he says that if you're going to take action against us, then you need to take action against the state government and the policy that it framed, because essentially that's what they were executing when they carried out these encounters. Now, it is long believed, Amitabh, that, and this is what the CBI was meant to investigate, and perhaps after this it might further investigate, that Vanzara and so on were carrying out these encounters under direct instructions from Amit Shah, perhaps Narendra Modi himself. And we've been reporting some traces of that information in our previous reports on the Ishrat Jahan encounter case, which have suggested that Vanzara was telling some of the other police officers that he's got the go-ahead from the Gujarat CM and the Home Minister to carry out these encounters. These have so far not been substantiated by the CBI. But this makes it clear, this letter, that Vanzara saw himself as acting very much in line with the instructions he was getting from the political masters, and the kind of language he's used to indict Amit Shah seems to suggest that he might have even further revelations that he wishes to share, which of course, as I said, could only deepen the political embarrassment for Amit Shah and also for Narendra Modi.
We also got Rohit Bhan. Basu, what you were referring to there, again, Amit Shah introduced a much despised British policy of divide and use. He used the dirty policy of using officers and then throwing them, Basu.
That's right. In fact, Amitabh, remember, this is also unfolding in the context where the Congress is alleging that Amit Shah, or at least those in the BJP, were attempting to use illegal means essentially, to try and get Amit Shah a reprieve in the Sohrabuddin Prajapati encounter case. Now, here is DG Vanzara himself, somebody one would say is very much part of the Amit Shah group, or the Amit Shah inside track, who's himself accusing Amit Shah of such legal maneuverings, as he puts it, that if it wasn't for the legal and political intrigues, machinations and maneuverings of Amit Bhai Shah, the trial of Sohrabuddin encounter case would not have gone out of the state of Gujarat. And then he goes on to say that as if this was not sufficient, Amit Bhai Shah, through the order of the Supreme Court of India, also managed the merger of the Tulsi Ram encounter case into that of the Sohrabuddin encounter case, so as to prevent his own arrest in the second case, where he almost closed the door of regular bails to the rest of the police officers. Not only that, by converting two cases into one, he has also aggravated the seriousness of the combined cases, elevating the same into a rare category. And he says, in damning language, that I and my officers feel ditched and disowned by this government, and there is no valid reason for us to continue to trust this government and its ace strategist Amit Bhai Shah, who has convincingly proved himself to be completely self-centric in handling these serious encounter cases. So once again, Amitabh, just to underline that this is a letter written by somebody who is himself a key accused in a number of murder cases. So obviously there will be a question mark on what he's saying, the motives behind why he's saying it at this time, when the Modi and the Amit Shah star is in the ascendant. But at the same time, do remember that the Ishrat Jahan encounter case was also the result of a number of police officers of the Gujarat Police Department crime branch itself, who actually spoke out, and that's what led to the CBI being able to crack how exactly it was staged. And so therefore, if this becomes, or could go on to become, part of that testimony of Gujarat police officials who are turning against their political masters, then it could spell serious trouble for the high-ranking members of the Gujarat political establishment.
Rohit, any reactions from the Gujarat government to this scathing letter, going on to say it would not be out of context to remind Modi that he, in the hurry of marching towards Delhi, may kindly not forget to repay the debt which he owes to jailed police officers who endowed him with the halo of a brave Chief Minister, Rohit?
Well, let me tell you, Amitabh, in fact, this explosive 10-page letter has left the state government stunned. In fact, this is the last thing they had wanted at a time when we had this sting operation, which has indicted to, which alleges that two MPs were trying to derail the Tulsi Ram Prajapati probe. And now one of the main accused police officers, in not just in one encounter case, but several of them. And we had all along, the officers were insisting that, it will be DG Vanzara who is not really, the CBI has not been able to unearth much from him during the course of investigation. And now comes this 10-page letter in which he has clearly lambasted the state government. He has criticized Amit Shah, he has criticized the Chief Minister, he has criticized the way the state government has been handling this. In fact, what the frustration which was creeping into the officers like DG Vanzara and Rajkumar Pandian started when Amit Shah had agreed before the Supreme Court that the case should be transferred to Mumbai, and he had no objection to it. At that point of time, several officers, who used to come to the court here for the 14-day presentation before the court, they, somewhere down the line, the body language suggested that they were upset with the way things are happening. Cases were shifted to Bombay. There was no assistance being provided to the families of those officers who were arrested. We've been told by sources that time and again these officers tried to approach the state government through their advocates, telling them that it's time that some help should be given to them, both legal and otherwise, but that didn't happen. And in fact, it's clearly underlined in this 10-page letter in one of the paras, wherein he says that while one of the most costliest advocates in India, Ram Jethmalani, was roped in for Amit Shah, but insofar as these officers are concerned, there was no legal assistance which was provided to them, and the Gujarat government, the Gujarat CID initially, and then the CBI, in fact targeting the Gujarat CID initially, that they showed alacrity on arresting these officers, and subsequently they were not even provided the legal assistance which they had wanted. So clearly this reflects the kind of frustration that's been creeping up. Mind you, these officers have been behind bars since 2007. Though there will be questions raised over the timing of this letter, they haven't Vanzara hasn't really written a letter earlier or made any of this angst express earlier. But the fact remains, this 10-page letter takes the Gujarat government head on. It has mentioned Narendra Modi, it has mentioned Amit Shah. In fact, Amit Shah has blamed Amit Shah for having, not being able to, carry out effective work as MOS Home, and also told that the Chief Minister Narendra Modi, while he must have, in fact, in one of the paras, if I mention, in fact, he's saying that if they were accused and involved in so-called fake encounters, they were doing it under the guidance and monitoring from very close quarters of the government. And it says that by this reasoning, I am of the firm opinion that the place of this government, instead of being in Gandhinagar, should either be in Taloja Central Prison at Navi Mumbai or in Sabarmati Central Prison. So thereby indirectly trying to suggest that whatever happened during the encounters, the government was in the know of it. The top levels of the government were aware of what was happening on the ground. So clearly these allegations are very serious for the Narendra Modi government. Comes at a time, when there's been a lot of political development in the last few days, the sting operation, and now this letter which has come up.